What's up? My name is Matt, and my systems in the last couple of years have generated over $10 million for my clients in their online coaching business. And today, by the end of this video, I'm going to have gone over the 3 major systems that I implement into those businesses so that they can scale to absurd amounts of money with really high margins. And so what I'm going to go through is the client acquisition systems, the client onboarding experience, and the fulfillment strategies that these coaching companies are using in order to scale to the moon. Now, you probably think that, okay, it's another guru talking about I need complicated funnels and I need all of these crazy things. I'm actually not going to go through that kind of stuff today. And I think the guru space is very saturated right now. So I'm just trying to be authentic and just tell you exactly what works. So if you want that, stick around. So let's jump right in and let's walk through it. So I'm going to start with client acquisition because it seems to be the most popular topic that I get questions about, and I think it's actually really important and kind of people overlook it. So the first one is create content that converts. Now, in a world of social media, we all want to chase likes, views, and retweets, reposts, whatever it might be. We all want virality because we think if we get in front of all of the people in the world, at least some people want to actually buy our service. Now, this was me. When I was an online fitness coach, when I was a PT, I thought that I just needed a video to go 100,000 views, 200,000 views, and I would be sweet. Now, what happened for me was I did have a video go 250,000, 300,000 views. And what happened was my email list grew, but I didn't convert really any of them. So I maybe got one sale from that. And my thoughts were, I just needed to be in front of people and then people will want me to coach them, right? Which that was not the case at all. Because as soon as they started watching my videos, that one video that went viral, which wasn't even like a coaching video, it was more about like how I felt when I was overweight because I've lost a lot of weight and whatever. So people were just like looking at me as if like I was a survivor of being fat. Now, they didn't see me as a coach, as someone, they actually started to resent me a little bit because I was, lean, attractive to some extent to some people, and I wasn't one of them anymore. So what I failed to do was to win those people over. So I got the metric, I got the virality. I didn't have the content there to prove to them that I was the person who can also make this journey. So when it comes to creating content, you need to have obviously your top of funnel content, which is, the virality, the stuff that has the potential to go viral. But you also need on your page, you need consistent results. So you need to be posting consistently of your clients actually succeeding. You need content that shows you understand the pain points of the person that you are trying to sell to. Now, if you're a coach, for example, say you're a male and you target women with PCOS, inherently, these women aren't going to trust you straight off the bat. So you need to show them overwhelming evidence, that you are the guy who can help with their PCOS. And the way that you do that is through results, testimonials, and really good content explaining the problems that these girls are having, right? But you don't want to over-explain it. You don't want to mansplain it. It needs to be done tastefully. So think when you are making your content, top of funnel, results-based content, and stuff that actually shows you understand their problem. Those 3 things will help you actually transition those people into appointments and bookings, right? I've got here proof, promise, and plan. I actually did this at the start of this video. I told you I've made coaches collectively over 10 mil. I worked as a PT myself. I'm going to promise to you that by the end of this video, you'll know the 3 systems that I implement into these coaching businesses. And I'm going to show you the plan, how to do it. And it's these 3 things that I'm going through right now. So that's really good. The next one is talk to your target market consistently. What I mean by this is that you need to be tapped in to the market. You need to be understanding their pains. And the way that you can do that is by every single person who interacts with your content, every single person who sends you a DM, start conversations with them. Now, I'm not saying just like do cold DMs or, just reply to messages. I'm saying actually get in and speak to them as if they were your friend. So if someone follows you on Instagram and you've been making like heaps of content recently, send them a message and say, hey, like what part of the video got you to follow me. I'm really interested. I would like to know because I feel like I can help a lot of people by understanding what you need. Have that conversation every single day. You're going to hate it because you spend all your time on your phone, but it is actually so important for you to stay tapped in to what the market is telling you. And if you do that, you'll make a lot of money. Pay with time and then money. So this is one that I actually get a lot of people coming to me, like being like, hey, I want to build all these systems in my business, but they, like their client, like their income from their clients right now, pretty much reflects straight away that they should be doing these things without systems. Now, what I mean by that is if you are under a certain like bracket, like if you're a full-time coach and you're making less than 10 to 15 grand a month, you just have an output problem. Like you don't have I need these fancy systems. You just haven't done enough of what gets you clients. So if that's make content, you just need to make more content. If you send DMs to get clients, you need to send 10x more DMs and you'll get 10x more leads. The pay with time, not money, then money is once you have a system where you are like you physically can't do any more, then start trying to automate it. Then start trying to pay someone to do it. I don't think you should ever like straight off the bat, like pay someone to do ads if you've never actually run ads before. Or pay someone to, set your appointments for you if you can't already set your own appointments. You need to understand how the machine works before you delegate it. Once upon a time, I was at a business mentoring event and I heard someone say, inspect what you expect. Now, to me, that made a lot of sense. So keep that in your back pocket. Moving on to onboarding. This is where I find a lot of people think they need to sink a lot of time into, but onboarding really isn't that complicated. So the first thing we want to look at is mapping out the steps that you actually take. So when it comes to a new client, you've got them on a call, they say yes. What happens from yes to like first training block or first session that they can do by themselves? Usually it looks something like this. They say yes, you generate a payment link, they pay, they sign a contract, they get delivered onboarding information, whether that's a form, whether that's a welcome packet, whether that is, a shopping list with all the foods that they need to buy, whatever that is, you need to map out those steps into like a Google spreadsheet. When you are mapping out these steps, you should number them. So what I mean by number them is step 1 should be like payment and contract. So, and then 1.1 is payment link is sent to client. 1.2, payment is completed by client. 1.3, contract is sent to client. If you number these steps, you can look at it from a top-down approach, and it no longer becomes, the client does this or the client does that. It's like, no, client completes 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And you can then list out the dependencies of those tasks. So for example, if you know that a client, in order for them to fill out their onboarding form, you need to have collected payment for them. And the way that you do that is by ensuring you take payment on the call, and then you can send out the onboarding form. If you have those steps, you know with confidence what happens after every single sale. If you know with confidence what happens after every single sale, your clients will then know what happens with confidence after every single sale. So map that out, understand those points exactly, because when someone pays you a significant amount of money, they want to know exactly what's going to happen next. And if you can tell them exactly what's going to happen next, you can buy yourself extra time, or you can just, get started quicker. Map out those steps, and let's jump into the next one, which is cut out 60% of it. I have seen the most ridiculous onboarding workflows where people will, I'm trying to think of one. But when I say ridiculous, I don't mean bad. I mean just like crazy parts of it. So I worked with a coach who, whenever he would onboard someone, he would go into Amazon and order their supplements for them and send them their supplements, which, okay, that's crazy. Whatever. If that worked for him for a portion of time. Anyway, what that eventually led to is we found out that the protein powder that he was sending to clients, they actually hated, right? So instead, we cut that out and we'd replace that with a gift card, like an Amazon gift card. And we said, hey, buy your choice of whey, buy your choice of like vitamin D supplement, and buy your choice of magnesium. And that worked so much better for clients because they were like, cool, my task is to go onto Amazon and essentially get these things for free. It was built into their coaching costs. But you want to cut out the steps that actually don't help your client. You don't move them forward in their journey. We want sometimes to automate everything and like or just like do everything for the client. But at the end of the day, sometimes client preference is really important to making sure their journey is tailored to them. I just really went over this here, but make sure that the client always knows what comes next. So making sure that they understand that, okay, with step 1, I'm going to have step 2 and then step 3 and then step 4. The onboarding process, provided you have those steps mapped out, you can automate it quite effectively and quite easily by yourself. So provided you have that plan, you can then look at them and say, okay, cool, I can use Zapier to do this, Go High Level to do this, Stripe to do this. Moving on to our next one is fulfillment. So fulfillment is something that I don't actually talk about as much on YouTube. I kind of do the client acquisitions and onboarding stuff, but fulfillment is something that's really tricky. And the reason why I say it's tricky is because a lot of coaches actually suck. And what I mean by that is they actually struggle to get people results. And the coaches who do really well, they could have none of these front-end systems, the client acquisition and onboarding, and still be making significant money because their fulfillment's really good. Because at the end of the day, clients just want to know that you can get them to where they want to go. And that could mean that they will suffer through a bad client acquisition or bad client onboarding experience if they know that they're going to get a really good fulfillment out of you. If you have hundreds of results, hundreds of before and afters, they know that you're the right person to help them. So when it comes to fulfillment, the reason it's tricky is because you actually need to be good at what you do. And if you're not good at what you do, that's fine as well. You can still improve, and still, as your journey as a coach, you have to get better. Like, there's no doubt about it. But moving into fulfillment is templating your life. What I mean by this is if you are writing bespoke programs for general population, you're wasting your time. Sorry. If you are spending time writing a program for Margaret, who's 40, who wants to drop 10 pounds or 10 kilos and doesn't have access to a gym and is just going to do a bodyweight circuit at home, you should have that templated, ready to go. Margaret doesn't care. She doesn't know. She's not going to know. Margaret is going to care more about how she can cook for her family and still stick to her diet, right? The templates here are so crucial to you being able to spin these people up quicker. The faster you can spin them up, the faster they get results. So template your life away. That could be trainerized templates, meal plan templates, shopping list templates. Anything that you can template, you should be. Put that into your pipe and smoke it. Cool. Next one. Speak to your clients frequently. This is a no-brainer. But some of the most successful coaches I know don't speak to their clients. And it loses them money. They have a really good front end, but their fulfillment falls over because they don't speak to their clients. So when I say speak to your clients frequently, I don't mean get on the phone and call them. You could, but I don't suggest it unless they're paying you a lot of money. What I mean is set up systems that allow you to hit them with touch points frequently, multiple times a week. Talk to them, send them motivational message, share a recipe or two with them, share client wins from someone else, share their story with other people, give them what they need, and that is accountability and to be reminded about their goals. Most of the time, we don't need to learn things new. We just need to be reminded of what we need to do. Speak to your clients frequently. Next one here is accountability and caring more than they do. So this is more just about fulfillment, but caring more about your clients' goals than they do is what people need in order to break through the mindset that they've got about losing weight or, going to the gym, whatever it might be. If you are speaking to them frequently and they understand that you care about their goals, they're going to not want to let you down. if they're not going to want to let you down, they will start showing up for themselves. That is like a tricky way to get them to become more accountable to their own self. So you kind of give them the remedy, and they start to build up the cure. So the remedy in the time being is not wanting to let you down. And then the cure is that they're building the habits that actually require them to sustain their weight loss journey over time. Now, for fulfillment, I didn't really go through systems here, but I will tap on them really quickly. Templating your life, I mentioned that. Speak to your clients frequently. The way that you can do this is through, if you have, multiple clients, lots of clients, hundreds of clients, build a Claude or a ChatGPT of your vernacular. Talk about, give it information about you, how you speak, give it examples of your replies, and then have virtual assistants bang in different motivational quotes that will spit it out as if you were saying it, then send it to the clients. Accountability and caring more than they do. Set reminders for your team to message them. Set reminders for yourself to message people. You're human, you will forget. So make sure you're doing that. I hope this video has been valuable. I think that breaking down this kind of stuff can be a little bit tricky sometimes. So I hope you found value in it, and I look forward to making more of them in the future. I will speak to you guys soon. And if you need someone to help build out systems in your business, inquire below, knockonautomation.com, or join the school where I've got a free course and you can just do it yourself. Peace.